You're listening to a segment from the Slumpbuster Podcast. Find the full episode on Spotify, iTunes, the iHeartRadio app, or your preferred podcast platform. Enjoy. We'll focus primarily here on the first round wide receivers. So you talk about situation.
Oh, baby. I love the first round wide receivers.
Ruggs, Lamb, Jeudy, Justin Jefferson, Aiyuk, Rager. So we have,
that's insane.
Yeah, so 6 wide receivers taken in the first round. Which of those guys ended up in the best place?
Well, I'll be honest with you. One of the guys that's my favorite, that it's probably going to end up, in my opinion, as rookie wide receiver 1 in fantasy, didn't even go in the first round. That's Michael Pittman. I could go on a rant about him. But as far as the first round wide receivers, to me, I love the spot for all of these guys. Brandon Aiyuk, as a Niners fan, you've got to be jumping for joy if you watch his tape. The guy is just a dynamic force. I'm in love with the guy. I think he's huge. Henry Ruggs, he's going to get a ton of work in Las Vegas. Jalen Reagor is going to get a ton of work in Philadelphia. He's on a great offense. Michael Pittman's on a great. Justin Jefferson's on a great offense. Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb. It's unbelievable that all of these guys, and even the second round wide receivers, went to so many great spots for fantasy. But I think if I were to choose for year 1, at the very least, Justin Jefferson is the guy that is going to fight Michael Pittman to me to have the best rookie wide receiver season in fantasy. And as far as guys in the first round, he, in my opinion, is definitely the guy that I want to take before all the other ones. So I think Justin Jefferson on a team that is probably going to throw the ball a lot more. You got to remember, Kevin Stefanski was the offensive coordinator for the last couple years in Minnesota. What was Kevin Stefanski's bread and butter? Running the football. So what did we see with Dalvin Cook? A breakout season. Now he goes to Cleveland. Everybody's in love with Kareem and Nick, as they should be. But the new offensive coordinator, they're probably going to, there's not as run heavy. They're going to throw the football a lot more. So Justin Jefferson, his opportunities are going to be there. And I think he is a guy, to me, if I'm in a dynasty draft, if I'm in a rookie draft, the first rookie wide receiver off the board for me is Justin Jefferson. And I think Michael Pittman has an argument there, but I don't think you can argue to take Pittman as the first rookie wide receiver, because he's either going to go in the first 2 picks of the second round or the very back end of the first round. So you can wait on a guy like Michael Pittman, and you could have your cake and eat it too. You get Jefferson, and then you trade back into the first or use a late first that you might have on Michael Pittman, and boom, boom, I think you've got the best 2 rookie wide receivers in fantasy for 2020. So to answer the question, though, Justin Jefferson would the guy out of the first round that I like the most in fantasy.
I do have kind of a little bit of a counter just in terms of Minnesota's proclivity to throw the ball more. So Mike Zimmer, as we recall, he's a bit of an old school coach, a bit of a curmudgeon. And a couple of years ago, there was that whole debate with DeFlippo that he ended up letting him go because they wanted to air the ball out a little bit more. So yeah. I do kind of have that little bit of concern that, Mike Zimmer's a good coach, don't get me wrong, but he is pretty stuck in his ways, and Minnesota's better successes have come when they have put the ball on the ground a little bit more, except, of course, when they get into the playoffs and now.
Yeah, and Gary Kubiak's the new offensive coordinator, so Gary Kubiak does like to run the football, but I think we're going to see – I don't think he's going to run it as much as Kevin did. I think it's going to be more in between what DeFilippo did and what Stefanski did. So I think you're going to see a little bit more of a healthy balance there. So I think the passing will be – there'll be a little bit uptick in the passing, but it's not – you're right, it's not going to be John DeFilippo. They're not going to be throwing the ball, all around like you're playing in the Big 12. So you're definitely right about that for sure.
No, and I'm glad you said Pittman, because I'm super high on him just because I know Philip Rivers. I'm a Chargers fan.
Oh, yeah.
I know what he likes. He likes those big body receivers. Vincent Jackson. We had Alexander a couple years ago, like a big tight end. Malcolm Floyd. So he loves those big-bodied receivers, and it's just going to remind him of the old days, and hopefully he doesn't throw a medicine ball. He goes back to a couple years ago where he's actually throwing the ball well. But I'm super high on Pittman as well. So
yeah, no, he's an amazing, and the more and more I look at the situation, the more and more I'm like, man, I think he probably finishes. I do. I would take Jefferson first in rookie drafts, but I do think Michael Pittman ends the season with the best rookie wide receiver season. I do. He's got it all working for him. He's got the quarterback, okay? And I think Rivers is going to be a little more juiced up, a little more amped up, because he's in a new system with a offensive genius in Frank Reich for the head coach for the Colts. So I think that he is going to be a little juiced up to really have one more blowout season. I think Phil Rivers is in for a pretty good year. I think the Colts offense is in good hands, good offensive line. Running game is in better hands now with Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack as opposed to just Marlon Mack. T.Y. Hilton is going to take pressure off of Michael Pittman, so Pittman's going to be in a lot of one-on-ones. Jack Doyle, I think, is going to be a buy low tight end as well, who's going to get some quality
those tight ends.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think we're going to see, in a way, I think you've got your big Mike Williams, you've got your Keenan Allen, and you've got your Hunter Henry, Antonio Gates. He's not, obviously Jack Doyle's not as athletic as Hunter Henry, but you know what I mean. Phillip Rivers does love his tight end. So I think Michael Pittman is loads more talented. I don't even think they're in the same zip code as Big Mike Williams. I think Big Mike Williams is not nearly as talented as MPJ. So that's going to be something to watch too. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Michael Pittman Jr. is just I think he is absolutely in a wonderful spot, and I'm so excited for his 2020 season.
Okay, so surmise on the wide receivers here. So in redraft, you're going with Jefferson or Pittman to have like the biggest year. In Dynasty, I didn't quite catch your answer. Was it still Jefferson?
It's still going to be Jefferson because in dynasty drafts you're going to be in rookie drafts. So yeah, Justin is going to be the first rookie wide receiver off the board for me because I think he's in the best situation. I think he's going to have the second best rookie season, and he's going to go significantly higher for the most part than Michael Pittman will. I think the buzz is starting to drive up his ADP a little bit in rookie drafts. But regardless, most of the time he's not going to go ahead of Justin Jefferson. So get Justin Jefferson first, come back around and get Michael Pittman. Those are still the top two for me, just in reverse order in dynasty drafts for sure, in rookie drafts for sure. But Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb and even Brandon Aiyuk are right there. Aiyuk is definitely in my top 5. You know, T. Higgins is probably that 6th guy, I think, playing in Cincinnati. Going to get a lot of work on the outside across from A.J. Green. Not going to have a lot of, double teams. He's going to have a good quarterback in Joe Burrow throwing in the ball in a good offense with a good running back behind a revamped offensive line. He's got everything working for him too. Denzel Mims, I think a lot of people are excited about Denzel, but the problem with Denzel, we don't know how good the offense is going to be, number one. Adam Gase is the head coach, number 2. There is nobody in that receiver core that is going to scare defenses away from Denzel Mims. So he's going to face every team's their number 1 cornerback every week in and week out, and he's not a great polished route runner. So he, other than post and fly routes, he's going to have trouble breaking away from those number 1 wide receivers. So he's going to have to really evolve and season himself on the fly, and it's going to be difficult when there's not a whole lot of weapons on that offense. But yeah, those top 5, Aiyuk in reverse order, Aiyuk, Lamb, Jeudy, Jefferson, and Pittman, I'm in love with them. So I think they're all great options, to be honest.
I'll throw this out there too, even if just in a DFS play. I think Rager's kind of underrated in terms of like his blow-up potential on a week-to-week basis. So, just down the line, if, just looking at the schedule and there's a decent matchup,
for sure,
throw him out there.